Good morning, everyone. My name is Stephanie Cates, and I have the honor of speaking today with Yamilet Strauss. She's the president of Merchant Processing Solutions. Good morning, Yamilet.
Good morning, Stephanie. How are you today?
I'm well, thank you. I'd like to ask you a little bit about the company culture philosophy, which is basically you and Claudia's philosophy about how you work with merchants, the consultative approach you have, and then if you'll piggyback why you've reached out and now offer multiple platforms, different equipment choices, as well as alternate processing options for our merchants. So I'm giving it to you to kind of walk us through your consultative path for merchants.
Thank you so much. So 20 years ago, I joined this industry, and the industry, the way that it worked 20 years ago, obviously was very different. And back then, we still had knuckle busters and the Trans 330s. And by having the opportunity to work as the VP of sales, the VP of operations, and different line of business within the merchant services, I realized that the industry lacked transparency, and it lacked for the sales executive to truly understand the back end, the front end, the equipment, the point of sale system, and the different pricing models. Because I've vested myself in the last 20 years in the industry, I realized that if I wanted it to be a full disclosure company, that I had to adopt the wholesale price. However, since I adopted the wholesale pricing, they have been other pricing models that I don't find that it is as aggressive to the merchant, because we do really care about our merchants. It's not about building transactions in a portfolio. It's about building a portfolio where your clients will have loyalty to you, because as you grow as a company, our clients grow with us. So when we were able to implement the MX Merchant Gateway that comes with every one of our accounts, or the Card Point Gateway that comes from other platforms, we were able to get the clients that didn't have it and upgrade it and grow with us. To me, it's important to vest ourselves in the best technology that we have, so that we can provide the best customer service and tailor a solution to our clients' specific needs, because not every merchant is the same. And there's such a thing as a retail and card not present, and restaurants and theaters, and every merchant is different. Not everyone is the same. So when I look at a business, I try to see how do they process, what's the best technology that they can have, and have them to have access to us. We have 3 toll-free numbers. And with all of that, I tell every single one of our clients to call our cell phones, to reach out to us via text or email. Many times we can resolve matters in literally less than a minute and a via text. So, to us, having constant contact with our clients and investing ourselves in the technology is the most important part. Years ago, we were merchant service providers, not point of sale system providers. Since Clover was added into a product line of First Data, we had to go invest ourselves in becoming point of sale system providers. And again, that goes with the growth of the industry. So I'm extremely satisfied with what we have accomplished thus far. And the team that we have is just as vested in the industry, in the technology as I am.
So, so this is why you can offer people like high risk, or you can offer alternatives to some of the main street processors out there, because you're not stuck with one processor. Is that correct?
Correct. So we are certified in all platforms. There's many times that a client may not like or did not have the best experience with Pfizer. So we can put them in pieces, or we can put them in global, or there's different options. If I high risk merchant, we have a high risk platform for that. So we try to accommodate everyone's business, but understand there's a lot of businesses that are out of policy within Visa, MasterCard. So those type of business have to be placed in a high risk platform, which we do have access to.
And then the same thing that I was asking with the equipment. I remember at one point I worked for TSYS and I only had a single line of item products that I could sell when I worked for that company. You've changed that whole way of your staff working with merchants. You can pretty much offer almost anything in the market, correct?
That is correct. You know, right now, like for example, the Clover line seems to be very slick and sexy, but the PAX is also a very amazing terminal. We have a variety of different terminals in the marketplace that we can work with, whether they're in one platform or the other one, as long as they're certified, we can do it. But we don't just get stuck with one terminal because again, not every merchant is the same. And every one of our clients come with an amazing portal. That portal includes a virtual terminal, an electronic payment link, and an API if they require WooCommerce integration. So we are a very robust solution, and I pride myself that in the last 17 years, the merchant processing solution was established, that we have grown within the industry when it comes to equipment, technology, and knowledge of pricing in the backend.
So my last question is, what do you think about this new alternative pricing that Florida, the state of Florida, is now allowing to happen, which is the convenience service? You know, I know that it's a kind of can of worms because a lot of people as a consumer don't like it, but the vendors, the merchants seem to think this is the way I want to go. Can you shed some light on that for our viewers, please?
Well, currently we have two programs. One is called the surcharge program, and the other one is called the cash discount program. I, as a merchant processor, do not recommend to every one of my clients to activate it. But there are certain niche markets that this pricing model will work. For example, an insurance company. You know, an insurance company, if you can't send a check and you have to pay with a credit card, they don't want to have to pay for, you know, the processing of that credit card. And so as a consumer, I'm going to say, well, if I don't want to pay the surcharge or the cash discount, then I'm going to have to send a check. And that's the only way that I can work. But in reality, you know, you want to have all the payments options that you have. But in this particular matters, like I think if as a restaurant you establish either one of those two, you will go out of business because your competition is not doing that. And it is not normal that you penalize your clients where the rest of the industry is not. So this is a very industry specific. It's not something that I would recommend to everybody, but think about your doctor office, or think about your insurance company. You know, there are certain companies like banquet companies. You know, banquet companies have established this for a long time. Even if they couldn't, there was a way that the way that they were written the agreement, they were able to get a convenient fee. So all of this is important. Now it's legal in Florida. You can do both, either cash discount or surcharge, but it's not highly recommended. So when I see merchant processing executives in the marketplace pushing that program, it makes me uneasy because they have not educated themselves to realize that's not a pricing program for every merchant. And instead of doing them a favor, you may be putting a damp into their business.
I see. Well, that's a very good point. Thank you very much for bringing that up because you're right. Not every industry should be pushing it to their clients because, like you said, they may be out of business. Well, thank you so much, Yamilet, for shedding some light on these very important themes that our merchants are looking into when they look to change their processor or someone opening a new business. And could you give them a number where you can be reached? And
Sure. So you can reach us at 866-925-1777, or you can reach us at 954-234-3854.
would you repeat the last four digits? You cut out. I'm sorry.
Oh, 954-234-3854.
Excellent. Thank you. Well, everyone, thank you so much, Yamilet, for spending your time with us today and educating the viewers and hopefully our merchants. And we look forward to the next time you come on and educate us again. Thank you.
Thank you. I look forward to be invited again. Thank you, Stephanie.
You're welcome.